we obviously welcome the news. Once the details are released, but based on what we know now, it appears that several hundred or maybe even 1,000 U.S. jobs will not be moved overseas, and that the plans have changed. That's obviously good news, and an announcement that we would welcome. Mr. Trump would have to make 804 more announcements just like that to equal the standard of jobs in the manufacturing sector that were created in this country under President Obama's watch. So this is good news, but the incoming president has a high bar to meet when it comes to putting in place the kind of economic policies that are going to benefit American workers. Let me give you one example, the overtime rule. And it's a poignant example because that was a rule that was scheduled to go into effect today, December 1st. This was a rule that President Obama announced earlier this year. But the bottom line is that every week there are millions of middle-class Americans who work more than 40 hours a week but don't receive any pay for their extra work. There are 87,000 such workers in Indiana. By definition, these are the hardest working people in America. And earlier this year, the administration finalized a rule to expand overtime protections to more than 4 million Americans, something that would boost wages by $12 billion over the next decade. This is boosting pay for people who are, by definition, middle-class Americans and Americans who are working harder than just about everybody else. Unfortunately, this rule was blocked just a couple of days ago by a federal district court judge in Texas. And that's unfortunate that you essentially had Republican governors colluding with some of the biggest businesses in America to prevent the hardest working middle-class Americans from getting a raise. If anybody deserves a raise in this country, it's middle-class Americans who are working overtime and not getting paid for it. So, hopefully this is the kind of thing that Democrats and Republicans would actually be able to work together to implement. And I haven't heard what the president-elect has had to say about this, but the possibility is there may be 87,000 middle-class workers in Indiana who may be interested in what he has to say about this, and another 134,000 workers in Ohio who are affected by this rule who may be interested in what he has to say about it as well.